Hello, this is international football commentator Derek Ray, and make no mistake, this is your source for all things black and gold. Football just wouldn't be football without Berwick Rangers. Stand by for this edition of the Let It BRFC podcast.
Welcome to Let It BRFC podcast. I'm Adam Hunter. I'm joined once again by Kevin Haynes. Hi Kev, how are you?
Very well, Adam, you?
Yeah, good, thanks. You been back to work this week?
Wish I could be furloughed already.
No, you're fed up with it already?
It was just a difficult week going back, and there was millions to do, and like I said to you before, we have an audit this Monday to do, and we're just everywhere. So it'll be alright once Monday's done. It'll be alright.
Have you been up to anything else? I just work, taking up most of your time.
Just work, aye. Obviously, still trying to school the wee one. That's difficult. Now that I'm at work, I'm not actually here and doing it. So try to do that remotely with her as well. And it's been difficult, but I'm not the only one.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. This week we're confident that Lewis Ball is signing on for next season. Are you pleased to get that one done?
Nah, I absolutely got it. Nah, Lewis is held in high regards by everybody. Supporters, board, management team, players, apart from Calum shaking his head there. But no, I think it's a great signing. We've said before, Lewis had interest to go to a higher level. He thought about his offers and he's decided to stay. So that's great. It shows that we're doing something right.
Well, so how many do you think are away now? I think it was mentioned yesterday, 3. But one already signed that can't be announced just yet?
Yes, I think so. I think we're looking to carry 18 or 19. That one that's to be announced is obviously still contracted to a club, so we'll do that when we can. And we've got 2 positions identified that we'd like to strengthen. So that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're aiming for.
For our guest this week, we have Jack Cook, defender and current longest service player with Berwick Rangers. Hi Jack, how are you?
Hi mate, all good. I just been trapped in the house doing nothing, so it's been quite nice.
Have you been enjoying it,
I'm getting to the stage where I'm not enjoying it now, but I was at the start. I just sitting out in the sun with a wee coffee and that every morning, but now it's just getting bored of my Xbox. So try to find stuff to do. So my mum's getting me doing everything. I've made her a vegetable patch, I've built her a wall and everything, but now we're getting to the point where there's nothing else to do. So yeah, just about scratching my head.
And we're also joined by Calum Smith, who's a forward who's had spells with league clubs, including Brecon City, Montrose, Dunfermline and Forfar, and also had spells in non-league with Kelty Hearts, Bo'ness, Linlithgow Rose and Dundonald Bluebell. Hey Calum, you alright?
Yeah, good, thanks. A few clubs here, eh?
A few,
It's had more than Tiger Woods.
So how's it going, Calum? You alright?
Yeah, good, thanks, good. Much the same as Jack, not been up to much, furloughed from work. So I've not been making vegetable patches like Jack, but I've been mark right fitness sessions every morning at 9. That's what gets me up, to be fair. And that's basically my day. Probably the fittest I've ever been, and I'm 32. So
Yeah, you actually look like you've lost a bit of weight as well, Cal.
honestly, it's weird. I honestly genuinely feel the fittest I've felt at 32, which is pretty weird. But yeah, that's all I've been doing.
Aye, tan, thin, hair's looking tremendous. You've been knocking all the buds off with a stick, surely, eh?
Nah. Married man.
Jack, you've recently resigned for another year. How are you feeling about that?
Aye, good. Just excited, just to get playing again, to be honest. Ordered a wee pair of boots a couple of nights ago. That's how excited I am, actually spending money on some boots. But But I just buzzing to get playing again, to be honest, yeah.
Do you keep the same pair of boots for the full season?
Usually 2 pairs of boots for the season.
Yeah.
Just with the Astro we train on, usually like the boots get ruined quite easy. So I bought a pair for training and a pair for games this year.
Play studs and mouldies.
Pure preparation there, eh?
Don't want you in mouldies on a grass park, especially in the second half.
I was talking to Louis yesterday actually, and he said that Jack, you deliberately take a bad touch so that you can crunch people.
Me, I don't think it's deliberately. It's just just my first touch. Unfortunately, I'm 22, but I've still not found my first touch. But I don't mind a tackle either.
By the way, getting slotted off lay bar, chuck it.
The rumours are cookie, that brick wall that you built's got a better first touch.
That wall, aye, definitely, mate. My best foot's my head. That's that.
Did you have any alternative offers? Was there anyone else that was sort of sniffing about come the end of the season?
I've been a few managers that I'd had it better before, just giving me a call to see what I was up to and that, but nah, I just same thing. I was planning on staying at Berwick as long as they wanted me to stay as well.
Well, you're the longest serving player now. What's been your favourite experience with the club?
Probably just making my debut, to be honest, because I played for the 20s for a good sort of 6 months, and then the start of the next season, it was, who was it? In the Betfred Cup it was actually, against against Morton, sorry. I just started that game and it was decent, they brought a good amount of fans down and that. They beat us 1-0 in the end, but it was a good game, so that's probably my favourite memory.
What age were you, Cookie?
I think I was 18 at that point, aye.
Who was around the side at that time?
Obviously nobody, well, Sean Brennan was there.
Mm-hmm.
Kev McKinley and Johnny Fairbairn and that. Stephen Lockman, obviously, decent player.
Mikey McKenna would have been there around that time too.
Aye, Mikey as well. A couple of boys were on loan as well. Andy Irvin, probably one of the better players that I played with since I've been at Berwick. What's the big goalie for Rangers? Robbie McCrory?
Oh, yeah.
Aye, 2 good players. Off the top of my head, aye. So, aye,
Was that John Coughlin as a manager?
Aye, John Coughlin was a manager for the first month or so of that season, and then Robbie came in. But aye, it's good just to actually get involved with the first team, because playing 20 games was good, but obviously it's 2 folk are there, so when you're actually playing in front of a decent wee crowd, it was good.
I think John rated you quite highly. He sent you out on loan, didn't he?
Aye, so I signed for the 20s in I think it was the end of December, and then was training with the first team quite a bit, and then just went out on loan to Newton Grange, which was good. First time playing men's football, so I was probably terrible at the start of it, and then near the end of it started to kind of get used to it, and then I obviously done alright, because then Cough gave me a contract for the next year. So.
Is there a big difference from 20s development to the first team?
Massive.
Is there a big jump?
Aye. For me, probably in the 20s, as a centre half, I was probably bullying strikers, probably because they were about 15-year-old. And then you play against men who are bigger than you, and you actually have to use your brain a bit more to actually get the ball off them, or no use your brain, as I was probably doing. And then when I went on loan to them as well, they were second bottom or bottom, I can't even mind, of the Super League, I think. So obviously it was a tough environment to go into, from playing nice 20s football, everyone's sound teacher, and then you go in and everyone's scrapping after games and that.
Did you play against Calum?
I don't know. Depends who he was playing for, to be honest.
What year was it?
2018, I think. 2017, 2018 season.
Aye, 100%. Then you would have been. I'd have been probably just signed with Dundonald, actually.
Right.
So I probably chucked you a bit.
But then you weren't in the Super League there, no, Carl, were you?
Yeah, aye.
Oh, were you?
Aye, we've never not. I've not been below that, to be fair. But I think I did chuck Cookie about. I remember that actually.
That's about right.
No, I don't remember, but I probably would have, to be fair, if that was that season, because I was there anyways.
You had a spell playing football in the US as well. What was that experience like?
Good. Aye, so left school in sixth year, and then, well, just while I was in sixth year, a boy phoned me, talked me through what it would be like to go over, and I thought, aye, why not? So I went out in the summer and then to Brooklyn, New York, obviously quite a nice place to stay. Um, and it was just like being a professional, apart from you had to go to like classes and stuff, which probably at the time I probably wasn't like mature enough to actually go to, unfortunately, which kind of held me back a bit. But I did it for 6 months and then decided to come back. But it was a class experience and recommend it to anyone, to be honest.
Why did you not stick it for longer? Just because you were not ready for it?
Probably, I think like the way it works, you need to keep up a certain grade to be eligible to actually play. And unfortunately, I never really went to any classes, so kind of meant that I might have not been able to play for like a full year. So, and also it was good, but I just kind of wanted to come home as well. To be honest, boring guy, you know what I mean?
You were involved with the relegation side from the year before last. What was the reaction like within the dressing room following the games against Cove?
Obviously, as you can imagine, it wasn't a happy place. Obviously, the first leg kind of killed us, to be honest. Personally, I was frustrated as well because I'd played quite a lot that season. I think when I read the bit when I signed, I think I played about 40 games. And then I wasn't playing in that game. And then I'm not saying that's why we got beat 3-0, but you're sitting on the bench raging at your fact that you're probably going down and the fact that you're on the bench. And then I think after that game, I'm not saying like boys weren't trying or that, but as you know, like 90% of the team had already kind of sorted out other clubs. So by the time you get to the second leg, it's kind of like you're 3-0 down and maybe, not that boys weren't trying, but you know what I mean, they're maybe not as bothered as they should have been. And then obviously Ross Brown, I think it was, it gets sent off in the first half of the second leg and kind of done then, isn't it? But it was gutting, like it was sad to see because obviously been at that point I'd been there for like 3 years and it's obviously a really good club and it's just sad to see obviously fans are raging quite rightly so and it wasn't really a nice place to be at that point.
We went up on the bus and trying to get out of the car park afterwards, it must have took about 40 or 45 minutes. And there was a bunch of young Cove fans that just were on the side of the bus relentlessly giving it for them 45 minutes and was sick already. And you're like, oh, just shut up, man.
I know.
It was awful, man.
I mind after the game, I think it was me and Louis were walking in and there's just abuse coming from every side of the stand, even the Berwick fans, to be fair, which is quite rightly so, but it wasn't an amazing experience.
It was Adam McEwen.
I know. I recognise them,
Wasn't. I think these were the only two that came over. How do you feel last season went?
It's a strange season, obviously. Right for the start. Was there 4 of us from the season before, I think?
5, I think.
It's just strange going in. It almost felt like playing for a different team completely. But I think obviously the Gaffer and Haynes had done well to put a squad together last minute and then probably a shame the way that the season finished just because I thought we were kind of building some sort of momentum for the first time in the season. But it looks good kind of for next season that they brought back kind of core of the same boys and then hopefully you can kind of push on and do well in the league because I think we've got good enough players for it. Just need to actually probably be a bit more consistent than we were this season.
Definitely. What are your hopes for this coming season?
Just get it started, really, at some point. But I think just even with the players that they're bringing in and stuff, like I know a couple of them and they're all decent players and that I think we've probably got a pretty good squad together. So it's not like any team's kind of unbeatable in that league. So it's just really, if you get off to a good start and just see what happens. But I don't know why, don't see a reason why we couldn't be in at least the top four and just go for there, see what happens.
I agree with you, Cookie. Every team can beat every team in that league, eh? You know, you do have a chance of beating every single club, but in the same respect, you've got a hard game every week as well, because the teams that are sitting further down the league can also beat you.
Definitely, aye. Just there's some proper good teams, like even from playing obviously in League Two. There's probably like 4 or 5 teams in the Lowland League that would do what Cove did. You know what I mean? Go into that league and be maybe not win it, but be near the top. So it's a good standard. Like I don't think it's much of a drop down from League Two. It's probably maybe just a couple of teams that were near the bottom that maybe was kind of like a drop in standard, but overall it's very good.
I think as well though, I think when East of Scotland teams start coming up, you'll notice a difference as well. Kev will probably back me up, but you've probably got 5 teams in East of Scotland that could probably go and challenge in the Lowland, to be perfectly honest. That's just the way it is. I think the East of Scotland's exactly the same. There's maybe a sort of towards the bottom end that's maybe, I wouldn't say they're bad sides or not, but they're not, you know, I mean, they'd probably be similar to the lower part of the Lowland League. It's kind of a bit of a strange way. It's because teams are only just coming into this sort of format, but the top end of the East of Scotland, I mean, teams like Bo'ness that you've obviously been at, they're potentially going to get promoted. They'll be a really good side because they've just got it's kind of different mentality. They've got kind of winners, to be fair. They've got a team of winners who a lot of these teams are used to winning in the Super League and whatever else. And
that's you're spot on, because like just using Bo'ness as the example, you know, they've won things for years and years and years, and they've kept the same squad for the best part of 5 years, and they've added 1 or 2 here and there, but they've got that mentality to win games of football, and they'll be top half of the Lowland League if they come up.
Definitely.
They're a lot better than teams that are currently in the Lowland League. And then, like you say, there's other teams in the East of Scotland that Pennycook could have done well in the Scottish Cup this year. There's all these clubs that they're only going to make the Lowland League better. It'll be a matter of time before they all get in, and it's, you know, it'll be a better pyramid, it'll be a better structure, and it'll certainly be more competitive.
What's your thoughts on the Rangers and Celtic crack?
Well, I've not really read much into it, but it looks at the proposal, they're asking for 4 new teams, is that right? So there would be Rangers, Celtic plus another 2.
So it'd be Kelty and
Brora. Yeah. So is that what the proposal is?
14, 18, yeah.
Aye. As long as Kelty and Brora are in it, then it doesn't make the pyramid look flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Could they put 4 for the non-leagues up? I suppose they could. But I think Rangers and Celtic B sides they'll enhance the lower end of the spectrum as well. You're playing against better players. You're probably going to have crowds that may travel. So I'm not against that.
Cal,
you signed in January this year. How did the move to Berwick come about?
Well, to be fair, the manager tried to sign me about 10 years ago when he was in fact, he was the number 2, I think Jimmy Crease was the manager at the time. And then when he got the job, he tried again, and I think it was the 3rd division, I think, if I'm right. And then obviously spoke to me. My contract was coming to an end. I had 6 months on it, and they spoke to me. And then it materialised that it was just happening in January rather than the end of the season. So that's how it was. But I've known Ian and Kevin and Daz obviously for a long time, so I think that was a big factor as well.
Yeah, you played with Darren at Brecon, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was doing a bit of research yesterday and I saw that you scored in a 5-0 rout at Glebe Park. You and Daz both scored.
I remember actually there was a game that we were 2-0 up down at Berwick. I think I scored 2, and we were on a run. I think we were top of the league or something at the time, and or that win would have taken us to the top of the league or something. And I think it was Ian Dyak actually scored a double late on. It ended up 2-2. So I've actually scored quite a few against Berwick, but the 5-0 right, I remember that one. I think Lee Daz was unbelievable that day, if I remember right. As always, to be fair, Lee Daz.
What's it like, sort of still playing alongside him and seeing him in training and stuff?
I'm a massive fan. I mean, he was actually when he was at Brecon, he was streets ahead of everybody, and that's not. We had an unbelievable squad. Adam Nelson, Neil Janchik, Kevin Byers, Charlie King. So they're really technically gifted football players. It was Michael O'Neill that was the manager, who's at Stoke now, and he kind of just wanted football players, and Daz was his. He loved Daz, and that was because he was technically he was kind of streets above everyone. He actually really surprised me when I signed from Dunfermline, just how good he actually was, but also how good a captain he was, because I was young when I went there, and he looked after everyone. And it's kind of strange because we've all played in dressing rooms, but every single player looked up to Daz, if that makes sense, and every player, no matter if they were older, had the massive respect for him. So and it's similar at Berwick. I think Kev would agree that he's still 40, but he's 40, just turned or whatever, but he's still in training, and that his wee touches are very decent.
He's good in training. He can keep the ball in a phone box, can't he?
He's brilliant. He's really, really good. By the way, I was just going to say though, I remember we talking about Kev actually. I remember I think you were the manager at Dalkeith, and our assistant at the time, I was at Lithgow, and we went to play. And obviously, I knew Kevin. I'm actually giving him a bit of praise here, by the way. And I knew him, but the boy John Evanson, I don't know if you obviously you know John.
Big Ovie, aye.
We walked away, and John said it's probably one of the hardest players he played against, sort of physically, in terms of like always in for a game, and so that was a bit of praise for you, like. But that always stuck with me because I'd obviously never really seen loads of Kev playing, but obviously that was a big thing, because Ovie did they chuck out compliments a lot, like. So,
Ovie liked that physicality and that battle, and unfortunately so did I. So it kind of made for a war, But that's good to
praise
hear.
away. I thought I'd just chuck a bit of praise to you then.
Aye. Probably because
Dad was getting a bit too much there, and so I thought I'd just give a wee bit of praise.
I had to. I've roomed with him we went away with Stenhousemuir, and I had to room with Ovie for the weekend, and he seems so quiet, but he's not wild.
Great boy.
So you mentioned in an interview that I read online that your best football memory was over the course of a week. So you scored a penalty in a CIS penalty shootout against A, and you played in Pittodrie at the weekend in your league debut for Dunfermline. With being a local lad, that must have been great for you, was it?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I actually had been at Dunfermline since I was 12, and I think there was only me and one other boy that went the full way and ended up playing first team, and it was kind of surreal because half these boys I went to watch anyway. I had a season ticket for Dunfermline, and at that time Dunfermline had some squad as well. I mean, I think the SPL at that point was strong. I mean, you looked at some of the players that were at Celtic and Rangers and all the rest of it, and it was class. So I made my debut. And my mum and dad were obviously there at the first game away Ayr and that, and scoring the penalty. I'm not going to lie, I was a bag of jaggies going up to that penalty, like, it was, because if I'd missed, we were out. And but it was great. And then obviously going to Pittodrie on the Saturday, and it was brilliant. But the competition up front at that point was difficult, and I think obviously the under-21 rule was good because you always would get a few appearances on the bench and stuff. But I think we had like Jim McIntyre, Tam McManus, and Mark Burchell, and then the day I made my debut that night, they signed Stevie Crawford and Jim Hamilton, and so you're then competing with it, and that's when it started to obviously go. And I still managed to make a few more appearances, but it was it was just great to be there, to be fair, because I supported them, and I used to have Crawford 9 on the back of my strip, and then He was singing. I've not let it go, Kev. I've actually not let it
No,
go.
I didn't. Cookie, you're not an internationalist, are you know?
For like the worst level you could get, the schoolboy one. Aye, that was class to be fair. But it's like under 18 schoolboy, so everyone that's decent is actually full time, and then all the wee geeks that are still at school make up a wee team. But it was class, mate. We went down to played England, captain against England at Fleetwood Town and that. So good, but just all the wee geeks that were still at school, and then
big crowd that day. Cookie, was there a big crowd that day?
Actually, was it? I think there was a couple of thousand people.
Not big then. Yeah.
Not that big. For me, that was decent.
I'm liking that. That would have been good to be fair, mate.
That was Jack Cook wanted me to ask you that. Jack Cook. It was Jack Wright. Jack Wright says he's going to ask Cookie about his international appearance.
Aye. They actually give you a cap and everything. I've got that in the house, so probably get buried with that.
I mind them actually. Were they ever on the telly on a Friday night in that? No. Or was that?
Nah, that might be the Victory Shield. That was different.
Right.
That was actually decent players.
That was the boys that were full time.
Or 16s or something. Sure, Kev was maybe involved in that or something. So I remember for that at our age group, me and Kev and a few were at least involved in the training bit before, and then I never made the squad at that, which about right. I think the coaches actually put their glasses on for the last training, and that was me.
Probably.
Was that when you were at Livingston?
Nah, that was when I was at Hutchie when I was younger.
When he was at school.
I was at school. Nah, that was when I was at Hutchie. There was I think it was one of the first times that 3 of us that were at boys' club were it was 4 of us actually were involved in the Scotland squads with obviously boys for Rangers and Celtic and stuff like that. So we had a class team at the time at Hutchie, unbeaten for 3 years, which is a decent achievement.
That's changed quite a bit though in terms of, I don't know, Kev, you'll know more about this, I don't know, but when I was younger, it was very much you signed for a pro youth team at 12 or something, and whereas now I don't know if they do that as much. I think there is. Do they still do that, or is there an emphasis of using sort of boys' clubs teams? Or
to be fair, I signed for Aberdeen when I was 11 or something.
Right, aye. But I know a couple of folk from Maui, and one of them's just signed with a club now, and he's 17 or something. I just didn't know if they still do those kind of. Remember they had the pro youth going the full way, and I don't know if they still do that. I take it they do, or because it would have cost a fair bit of money for clubs having those teams.
I think my boss's boy, he's in with Hearts, Hibs, Rangers. He's only 9.
Right.
So they seem to go into 3 or 4 different clubs, but they only get 3 months at a time, and they've got to hit targets to progress to get another 3 months. And then that's when they might find that they're not getting taken on for another 3 months with Hearts. So he's then stuck with Hibs and Rangers. So he's training 5 nights a week almost, because he's got his own boys' club that he plays on a Sunday. So I think they do a lot of football, and I don't think there's a limit, or they don't sign with clubs at that age, and they can filter in and out. They just got to be invited.
I think when I came through, it was I think I was about 15, and that was when I started stopped the school and was only going to school 2 days a week, and I don't think that happens anymore. I think they've stopped that because I think schools basically can now say no. Whereas back in the day, if a club contacted a school and said, I was playing with the reserves on a Tuesday and then the 19s on a Friday, then they couldn't basically say no. It was, it was a thing that was good. Whereas now I think there's a sort of emphasis on schoolwork and whatever else, which is needed, to be fair.
Of course,
I left with nothing.
That's how you're getting all these. It's almost a football scholarship you can get now in Scotland, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can go to a designated high school and learn and take football almost as a subject.
Yeah.
I think that's what Jack Wright's dad does. That's what Ted does. He's a head coordinator at one of the schools, and They obviously work within the school curriculum and they work with the SFA and create a subject that boys have got a chance.
Cal, you've been doing your coaching badges, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been actually doing a couple of them online at the moment, just with SFA. I've actually done a great job in putting them all on Zoom and stuff. So I've kind of set myself a wee target to try and at least get on the B licence by the end of the year. So hopefully going to do them and see where it goes. But I think I need to look into it at 32 now, and that's probably the next step. I've actually been going just before all this happened. I went in and back into Dunfermline, and Stevie Crawford's obviously the manager there, and I just kind of followed him up for a day, and it was absolutely brilliant. He's probably one of the best in Scotland, to be fair. So it was great to shadow him and watch him, and it gets you a wee taste for it. And that's basically where it's kind of started, to be honest. And I've kind of, Kev, you'll probably be the same. You take wee things from each manager you've probably played under and try and, even the bad points, to be fair. There was a few managers I played under that weren't great, and I still take great points. And I actually work, my day job is there's Ian Campbell, who's assistant manager at Forfar. It's his firm I work for, and Dick's obviously part of that as well. So every day I see probably two of the best in terms of who I think they're the most successful in terms of promotions in the lower leagues. And so even hearing things from them and stories from them, it's brilliant. It gets you kind of into it. And my immediate boss, he kind of is a manager at Crossgates. That's Ian's son. So him and his brother are starting on their sort of journey now as well in management. And I think it just gives you a wee taste. But you definitely take good points and bad points from every manager you've probably worked under.
I think that's probably the biggest thing, is if you can learn to take the bad points as well and not use them. Do you know what I mean? Everybody says, you take the good stuff and you learn the good stuff, but if you can take the bad stuff and make sure that you didn't replicate that, then obviously it puts you in a good stead as well.
Definitely. And there's so many different management techniques, and players are different now. It's I've probably noticed that more since I come to Berwick, to be perfectly honest. There's a young group who, when I was young, you wouldn't potentially you take things in for experienced players, and I think there's no bad people. I don't mean that, but definitely there's a lot of opinions from people who haven't done a lot in the game, and I think that's the biggest thing. I'm 32. I still learn from Kevin, from the manager, and Daz. I still learn from every manager I've worked on, previous managers. But I think there's still a lot of younger players coming through that think they know everything about football. And I think that's a big challenge into coaching and management styles. And then you've got things like there's ways you can potentially speak to players now compared to maybe previous, but there's no right and wrong way. I mean, I've played under managers who will come in and really go to town and it works. And then I've had managers who are more reserved, and again it works. So it's all just finding out which player wants or reacts best to each situation. So it's difficult. I don't think it's you do a few badges and then that'll be it. It's definitely a learning curve in terms of just the day-to-day runnings of football clubs and all the rest of it.
That's when you learn. You learn in the changing room as a coach. You learn in the changing room, and you learn to deal with the different characters and different people. And I think people forget football's an emotional game, and people express their emotions differently, and you've got to work that out as well. So like you say, you do the badge and you get the certificate, but I think you learn within a club. You learn in the changing room, you learn on the training park, and after you do something bad, it's the same as playing. When you do something bad in a training session, you've got to work out how you rectify that, how you make potentially that session better, or drop it altogether and never use it again. So it's a lot of working out. That's what it is.
it's definitely not as easy as people think. It's even the sort of early sort of stages of the badges is more. I've kind of passed those now, but the early stages of the badges were, it's participation because it's sort of younger players coming through, maybe elite players at clubs that we were talking about previously, but then once you get up to the level that obviously we're at or other clubs, let's be totally brutally honest, it's about winning. It's that's what makes football clubs successful, and that's what keeps managers and coaches their jobs. There's no point in saying it isn't. It's absolutely about winning, and I think sometimes just seeing people and players coming through now, I don't think some players, and I don't mean anyone better, I just mean from experience of playing with people, I don't think people appreciate that as much, that it is purely about winning games, no matter how you win a game. Now, you can go out and play like Barcelona and get beat 5-0, but it's not going to make you a better team. You need to grind out wins as well, and I think that's a big thing where a lot of clubs nowadays want to play beautiful football, and absolutely, so do I. But at the end of the day, beautiful football doesn't win you games. I mean, there's also got to be an element of being able to just win it ugly as well, to be fair. And I think, again, that just comes from experience, because I think a lot of players now coming through have maybe come through academies and play on beautiful surfaces, and then they come to a game and it's maybe in the winter and there's no grass on the park, and as we've seen in Scotland, and
you have to change the style.
Totally.
Horses.
Absolutely, and I think that's things as well that coaches have got to take into, which is just not easy, is it? You've got to maybe got a team of players who pass the ball about, you turn up and there's a surface that's horrendous, and so
you have to change your team, As a fan, Adam, what would you prefer? Would you prefer a team that played lovely football and won 50% of the games, or a team that done what they had to do and won 90%? It's not pretty, but they won more games.
Definitely, you want a team that wins. It's a bonus when you see good football, and you sort of entertained in that way, even in defeat. But you got to take the winning side of it over anything else. That's why we're all involved in it.
Yep. I think that's a big thing. Cookie, you'll probably back me up on this, but early on when I came in, I'm a kind of more a target man as a striker, and I was saying early on, hit me quick, if I've got a chance, just hit me. And some of the boys were like, no, I'm keeping the ball, and I'm like, no, just hit me and we'll play off me. And I think it took a few games in to realise sort of how I played, maybe, because
it is. Not had someone like that in the team before he came in that would hold up the ball. It was more boys that was running behind or we try and keep it, and you know what I mean. But it was Cal came in. It was good for me anyway. I can actually have an excuse to just launch it long as that.
But that type of centre forward that you are, Calum, you didn't see many of them now. It's like a dying breed. The 6 foot centre forward that's just great with back to goal and linking stuff and then spinning. That's been taken out of the game with the false number 9s and the false number 10s, and it's a dying breed, a centre forward, and personally I think it's the best type. But
the thing is as well, I think it's quite funny because and it wasn't at Berwick, but I played with a couple of younger lads coming through, and they're maybe about the same height as me, but they genuinely can't link the game, and they don't want to win headers, and they don't want to go up, and it's strange because I can guarantee you if these boys did that they would have a better career. But because it is a dying sort of art, really, a target man or a proper number 9, as they used to say, then clubs are desperate. Clubs do want that because they've got to have a plan B, or they've got to have an out ball. But that's not all. Obviously, I play. I actually really like the ball in the feet, but definitely not in behind now. No pace, but in the feet. And going back to the Daz thing, Daz will actually tell you, when I went to Berwick, to Brecon, I was actually complete opposite. All I did was score goals and didn't link the play. Just did not link the play, and all I did was that was all I was about, was just goals and then behind and goals. And That's why he started calling me Goals, Kev. And and it was, and then it was actually people like him and sort of more experienced boys told me, like, you'll not play every week here if you just purely rely on goals, because you need, as a striker nowadays, it needs to be more than just purely goals, which is crazy because you think that that's the most important thing, but obviously bringing players into the game and all the rest of it is it's a big thing.
It just shows you how much football's evolved, because when I was younger and when I started playing, like, we'll call it men's football, every team had a little and a large striker. Every team, there was always one each, and there was the one that linked and the one that went in behind, and it was that simple, really. So it just shows you how much, you know, the game's evolved, and people's opinions and theories of altered certain aspects of the game.
Yeah, we had it with Gareth Hutchison and Gary McCutcheon. So Gareth Hutchison was the big target man, and then McCutcheon was the one that would run in behind or feed up the scraps.
But Hutchie wasn't even that big, Adam.
I know, unbelievable in the air though.
Hutchie wasn't even 6 foot. I didn't think Hutchie was 6 foot. But like you say, he was brilliant in the air, wasn't he?
He was great.
You made it look like he was in your back garden scoring goals there when you turned around and looked at it.
I was just making sure Gary Wood's not out there and he has us talking about someone else. Do you think that doing your coaching badges changes your game, Cal?
Definitely. I actually believe that it actually helps, to be perfectly honest with you. The more you think about football, and the more you think about, you know, how would you set up, or you know, would you do something different with a formation or something like that? It actually gives you a way of thinking, but it also can help if you can help in a dressing room, then that helps as well. I don't mean to coaches, but just saying to players and that, giving them a wee helping hand. By the way, a younger player like Jack or something came to me and tell me that can help me as well. So there's no, like, because you've got experience, you can learn all the time. But definitely, the badges have helped me. Like, definitely, just understand a lot of, you know, ways to play and things like that. And I was just kind of growing up. It was very much 4-4-2 when I was growing up. That was the kind of formations, and then probably when I was at Dundonald, the big one for us was the 4-2-3-1, because I was the target man. I had 3 runners coming behind me, and then that was when I was starting to get into the badges and things, and that's when I started to understand more of the, you know, why they did that was because it was very successful with 3 runners off a target man, and I think I scored 72 goals in 69 games or something for Dundonald. And
what do you mean? You think you know?
Wait a second.
Got his Wikipedia page.
72 and 69, and really good players that just sort of ran off me. The sort of holding midfielder boy Chris Gay was just very, very good, and they just knew how to play to my strengths. And I think it's hard coming in January when obviously Kev and Daz and the manager know what I can do, but it's hard then for players to realise how I play, because potentially, as Cookie says, you've maybe not played with a player like that before, or so. It's definitely been good, but it does help you. Definitely helps you. I would actually recommend it, because especially just now with them doing them on Zoom, you know, you can. It's the same learning, but you can get them done. So I'm booked on to my next one at the end of the month there. So, and then, like I say, hopefully be on the B by, fingers crossed, by the end of the year if we get the other ones done. So.
There's a lot of full-time clubs now that make the kids do the badges as part of the. I was going to say the apprenticeship. No, they do the apprenticeship now, but there's a lot of managers that put them through and make them understand the side of the games that you didn't think about as you're a player. And I'm the same as you. I never ever thought about tactics or styles or anything like that till I sat a coaching badge, and I wish I had done it when I played.
Yeah,
Kind of get that different concept.
I did one just last week or the week before, and we were on the Zoom call, and even that, there's guys coming out with things, and you're even learning on the call. You're like, I've never thought about that, or, you know, and that's not just the tutors, that's just the general sort of group discussions and things, and that's definitely a good thing as well. But that's and I know that the SFA sometimes get a bit of bad press, but for what they've done during this sort of pandemic to still have the courses going, I think that's absolutely brilliant. And the 2 tutors that I had or 3 tutors, sorry, that I had were absolutely class. So yeah, really, really good. So I am enjoying them. So long may it continue.
Ewan Smith's just texted me a question.
Go for it.
Ewan Smith's asking, ask Calum when his hair started falling out and if it started to grow back since lockdown, since he stopped heading the ball. That's the first time you've been quiet, big man.
So actually, I've shaved my hair and I feel great. That's a terrible question, but I've not even got an answer for it. It hasn't grown back, and the vitamins are not working.
Right. Okay.
Terrible question. I was hoping, like Ian Smith, I thought I got a wee bit about him.
Nah, he's trying to stitch you up, eh?
Aye. That's one thing as well in the group chat. Oh, in fact, I'll know because I think you're going to ask that question in a minute about, what's.
Yeah, go for it. So, what's the mood of the players been like during lockdown? Is there anything you've been doing?
Nah, terrible. They just got to be running, and it's Jack Wright puts a thing in every day of run, and he's definitely pausing it. What he's doing is he's running, he's pausing the run, keeping on running, unpausing it, beating his time. By the way, I'll be honest, I've stopped putting mine in because they're that slow. They are that slow, I've stopped putting them in. I just started sending them to Kev privately because I thought to myself, you know what, I'm kidding myself on. He's running a 5k in about 3 minutes. I think he took his last one in, Jack, right? 3 minutes he took for a full 5k. And I can't remember. There's been a few boys not put any runs in. I can't remember seeing Cookie put a run in at all.
Nah, I think Cookie's done one.
Nah, I've been building them up, but like Cal says, too embarrassed until I get a certain time. So I get to the Jack Wright, so 2.5 minutes, then I'll put one in.
I've been doing the old parachute runs and everything, eh, Kev? I've been sending you the photos.
Aye, parachute. What else was there? There was ladders, there was balls, there was everything, eh?
Aye, been doing the track and that. Since I've done my badges, I went and invested a pair of ladders and fast feet stuff and that, just in case I get a job one day. But nah, it's to be honest, it's difficult because obviously when the pandemic starts, the chat was great going, and then it does peer out. I mean, because people are, they've got things going on, and there's a lot more important things. Football is absolutely important, but I think definitely it's sort of quietened a wee bit apart from Jack's runs, and but I think there's nothing better in a football club is when you actually get back to being in and about it all. And I think with me, I don't probably fully know the boys, and apart from maybe the ones that I knew before I came. I knew Foz and from playing when he was playing in the sort of Super League and stuff. And I think that was really it. And obviously the coaching staff. I think, and Louis Barfey when he was at Pennycook, but apart from that, I didn't know the boys, so it's it'll be good to actually get to know him. But like I say, it's difficult on a WhatsApp when there's just runs going in all the time, and I
think people aren't doing anything to contribute to a chat now, eh? You know what I mean? They're locked in and they're stuck in the house, and apart from doing that run, there's not much going on.
No. A few good boys in the dressing room. I think it's surprised me since I come in. I think it was obviously I looked at the squad before I came in, and I didn't know any of the boys apart from the two I said there. And obviously I knew Ewan from who he was and stuff, and he was a decent player. But there's a good squad there. Like there's definitely a good squad there. I'm going to give him a mention, but probably one of my favourites. Sorry, Cookie, but wasn't you? But one of my favourites is Kev Wally, and I'm not just saying that. I've been massively impressed with him because I'm a striker, and he's got a bit of a wander left foot. He was playing left back in the last couple of games, and I didn't realise how young he was, to be fair as well. But he's a talent. Like, I'm not saying you're not Cookie, it's just you're on the chat. And but he's a talent. He's a good player. And he's one of those players that can do what we're talking about previously. He can do both. He can put the ball into a striker, or he can be quite calm in possession. And I quite like he's got a wee bit about him in terms of he's got that winning mentality that's maybe needed in a dressing room. And he's by the way, he's willing to. He would say to me, or he would say to the youngest player in the dressing room, it wouldn't bother him. And I think that's definitely something that's.
I think that's a lot to do with schooling with Neil Lennon. You know, that what I see in Kevin is kind of what you'd imagine Neil Lennon to be like. You know, as a person, as a coach, and have that. It's almost as aggression, Calum. It's an aggression and a will to win. And I think he's picked that up from, you know, his previous manager, we'll call it. But he's a lot older in the head than he actually is, eh?
Kev's been like that since he was about 12-year-old. Like,
oh right, so it's not his old manager then. So I'm just talking shit. You're saying?
Aye.
Won't edit that bit out for Cookie. I'll just leave Kev's bit because that sounded magnificent, Kev.
I take Cookie's comment out.
Just leave it at that he learned from Neil Lennon. I thought that was brilliant. Cookie's just come in and absolutely destroyed your bit.
Fucking hell.
Me and Kev obviously both East Lothian. We were in like county teams and that from probably about 12, 13, and even from then it was just annoyingly loud from like day one.
It was East Kilbride game because that was my first game, and that was the one I kind of was like, coaches had said their part and went out, and he just went to town on boys, and I thought, this is brilliant. I like it, and he just started picking boys out, and I thought, but not nastily, like actually constructive stuff, and I was kind of like, fair play to this boy, like he's got a bit about him, and I didn't know him. Like I say, it was the first day I'd arrived, and everything he said at half time, he was spot on, like absolutely spot on. So that's enough about him anyway.
Nah, that'll go right to his head.
Ken, what we've not addressed about Big Wally being a policeman. Who's seen that?
I've seen it on Twitter. I had no idea what was happening.
He told us he was going on a rig. So unless he's going to police a rig, I'm not sure what's happened.
I saw one of the comments that said, "How does it take 11 weeks to become a stripper?"
That was Bev. He's kept that one quiet, eh?
What's your plans, Cookie, for the job hunt?
Well, I'm still at uni, mate. So
right.
I've got a year left at uni, so that'll be
absolutely dodging real life.
Aye, that's a fact.
Can I just say something seriously? We need to actually get a few more older boys in, because honestly, I think the closest person to me is like 26 or something, isn't he?
Nah, Fozzie will be 30.
Is he?
Fozzie will be 30.
Daz is still on the books and he's 40.
He does,
I'm a bit disappointed. Louis also said about you, Carl, the fact that you bring up the unbeaten season for Linlithgow Rose, and you haven't.
I've actually been getting a bit of stick for it, but Louis was obviously at Pennycook at the time. I didn't know who he was, but apparently he was at Pennycook at the time. And
you only know good players, eh?
Well, I can't remember him because it was 49 unbeaten, and I can't remember him. But aye, that was some season. But I'm getting a bit of stick about it because it was something like, I can't remember, so many years that it had been, and I put a post on social media, and Louis and Kev Waugh actually, so take that bit out, that I give him a compliment. Kev Waugh and Louis destroyed me, saying, "Oh, aye, did you know that Cal was involved in the unbeaten season?" And do you know what? I've got to say, I do talk about it a bit, to be fair, but it was a decent side. It's a decent side, Kev. Kev's not mentioned the overhead kick today, actually.
Can't mind it, mate.
No, I think you can.
No, I can't mind it.
Cookie, what I seen that was on the byline.
What, I scored a bicep?
On the byline against Dalkeith.
Oh, what, was Kev the manager?
I was clapping.
Fair play.
It was a big long cross. It was going away at the park, and I still didn't ken how you've done it. I still can't. And he's managed to do an ovary kick for the byline, and it's somehow went in. I don't know how.
Tremendous.
Top corner.
So Lou, you mentioned the fact that you should have got a fine if you brought it up on the podcast. What's the fine system like within the club? Is there one?
There is one, eh?
Yeah,
was-
probably since I've been here, it's probably been like the least kind of policed one. Like years before, like you'd be getting fined about more than your wage every week for anything, but it's been quite relaxed this year. I think the main one's what? Flip-flops. It's like £1 for getting your flip-flops, and then being late for a match day.
I've never flip-flop once, never been fined.
Ah, exactly. That's what I mean.
The police at Cookie.
Me?
You.
Yeah, I'll police it, aye.
You didn't speak to anybody. How can you police it?
Nah.
I know, but this, I need the money, mate, so.
You didn't pocket the money.
You didn't get to keep the money if you're policing it.
Oh, right. Nah. Get someone else in. I'll get, probably Kev, to be fair.
The
Big goalie if he comes back, eh?
There's always been decent fines, to be fair, but I've never had anything here, like.
I
Never.
think Ewan Smith and Fozzie were in charge with the no Cookie.
Aye, allegedly. I think
Yeah.
for a month or so, but
Ewan Smith's late every Thursday, and I've never seen him being fined yet.
because they're pals, eh?
In fact, I'm going to take over. I'm going to take over, and I'm going to keep it for the management night out.
How would you like to be in with a chance of winning £1,000 every month? If that sounds appealing to you, because it sure does to me, you need to join Berwick Rangers Supporters Club's monthly draw. For just £5 per month, you'll go into a draw with hundreds of other Dream Team supporters to win the monthly jackpot. In addition to the £1,000 prize, the Supporters Club will be donating £250 each month to a chosen local charity, with the rest of the profits from the draw going to the football club. For details on how to sign up, visit berwickrangers.com or message the supporters organisation on Facebook, Berwick Rangers Supporters Club, or on Twitter at BRFC Sup Club. Berwick Rangers Supporters Club, supporting your club and your community.
What are your hopes for next year, Cal?
I kind of just try and set personal things, to be honest, and I always try and hit 20 plus a season, and luckily I've done that for the past quite a while now. So obviously this season was cut short, but it took me a bit of time to adjust to the way obviously the boys played and things, but definitely the 20 goals plus is always 25 goals is kind of what I look for every year. So yeah, I just try and set personal targets first, and then obviously the team ones will come through from. I think everyone knows that when you start a football season, I know people are saying top four, and you just got to win games. That's all you do, is become relentless and just win games constantly. And winning is a great habit, the same as losing is a great habit. And I think you just got to try and go and win as many games as you can, and then see where it takes you. But just win games.
Target should always be the next game, eh?
Totally. I think that's the problem sometimes. I think it's always, and I understand clubs is higher up in hierarchy and that need targets of where they can go for financial things and all the rest of it. But as players, you just got to look at each game, just winning games, and then winning becomes a great habit. And in a dressing room when you're winning, it can be brilliant. The same as, luckily I've not been in many losing ones, but that can also be pretty horrible as well if you're constantly, week after week or fighting at the bottom. That's not enjoyable, and that's definitely nothing I want to do. I never want to do that. So,
and that brings us to an end of this week's episode. Thanks to Kevin Haynes, Calum Smith and Jack Cook for joining us as our guests today. We'll be back midweek with another episode of the Let It BRFC podcast. We'll be talking to some of the committee members of Berwick Juniors. If you've enjoyed the episode today, please ensure that you share it with your followers, friends or family, and stay safe. Speak to you soon.